But all right, I'll move on to my next one, which kind of sticks with a part that you spoke about, which is Kirk Cousins is cooked. Uh, he like you mentioned, he threw for 155 yards yesterday against the Steelers in his debut with the Falcons. One touchdown, two interceptions. Um, and like you said, he had one last shot to tie the game. And in typical Kirk Cousins fashion, he throws the ball inbounds with no timeouts left to keep the clock rolling. 14 seconds comes off the clock. And they have to spike it. And then on the next play, he takes a sack, doesn't even try and get rid of the ball, and then the Falcons lose in very Kirk Cousins fashion. Um, I think it was Hayden Winks from Underdog was tweeting this morning about how Kirk Cousins barely moved in the pocket and he couldn't really get any, push off of his repaired Achilles. So he might not even be fully healthy. And he just wanted to get back out there just to prove whatever. So that could be a problem all season long, and I do think it will be. But all I have to say is thank you, Quasey, for standing your ground, not letting Kevin O'Connell get his way, because re-signing Cousins would have been a huge mistake, and the Vikings are already better off without him. We just saw that. And lastly, Michael Penix will be starting in Week 14 against the Vikings.
Here's what you said. You're like, the Falcons win that game if Michael Penix is a starter. And I said no, because that Steelers defense is legit. Like, defense isn't the Steelers' problem, it's their offense.
Right.
Where now they're getting run by Arthur Smith. They have
Justin Fields
out there.
They have 9 field goals yesterday.
Yeah, like was it all 9 field goals?
No.
I was like, wow.
They scored.
I guess math that would be impossible. 18 divided by 6 field goals. Wow, that's
like 2000 Ravens kind of game.
Yeah, I mean that's the way they want to play football. They're going to play, and I mean Mike Tomlin's going to will them to 9 wins, no more, no less.
Just AFC North.
They're like you said the Ravens. They're like the Vikings a couple years ago. Like, I don't know, man. Your quarterback has a bum Achilles. Your quarterback in the future is 24, 25, and he's got 2 bad knees. I mean,
shoulders. I think he broke both of his shoulders too.
And I know the medical reports at the combine came back clean and everything. Seems like he's a hell of a leader and people get behind him, but a lot of the same. I actually talked to one of my beat reporter friends who covers the Vikings, and he asked another beat reporter, I'm not going to name names here, but he goes, did you see Kurt's stats? And he goes, not my problem. Not my problem anymore. So, yeah. It's definitely, I posted the picture of Edge with the red light, just like smiling evilly. Mm-hmm. That was me watching the last 5, because I had switched over at the end of the Vikings game. I'm like, this one is over. I'm like, let's see how this turns out with Kirk. And
they actually showed it on the broadcast.
Yeah.
If you were watching, they switched over.
Yeah.
Because they knew what they
makes me feel good that I bought Sunday tickets so they could pull the game that I wanted to see anyway.
They knew what they were doing when they were like, oh, Kirk Cousins. I think Vikings fans want to see this. But also PSA to the people that are like, he's not on our team. Why? What? Not on our team anymore. Why are you even still talking about him or covering him? He was with the Vikings for 6 years. People care about what's going on with Kirk Cousins. Okay,
and people are curious to see how that turns out.
All these people that are always like, who cares? They're not in the Vikings anymore. Don't pay attention to them. Okay, I'm gonna guarantee that people were curious about what Adam Thielen did yesterday, what Stephon Diggs did yesterday. Alexander Madison had a touchdown, miraculously. What did KJ Osborne do yesterday? Like, people pay attention to all these guys because they invested multiple years into rooting for them, and then they leave, so they want to see how they do. So all the people are like, oh, who cares about Kirk Cousins? Don't even talk about him. Actually, I have avid physical and visual evidence to prove to you that people still care about Kirk Cousins. So yeah, that's my spiel. But yeah, I don't know about Kirk Cousins. I think good luck to him when they play the Cowboys because Mike Zimmer is gonna just ruin his day.
That's going to be must-see television. Well, he might not play by the
He
time he
might, he
gets
might
in.
not. Yeah.
Mike Zimmer might find like a way to like make Kirk's life a living hell without him actually playing. Like